He's a tactical genius, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. Eyeball top number 50, you and me. With his cutting moves, he's rocking aimlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, I for the chill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works for the skill. In the ball, I for the chill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the corner bank to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. Magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. He wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. TG from Kilmarnock town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And it's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Just for fun, we'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic.
No pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
Right, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to VP4TV. I'm actually tabbed out at the moment. I'm waiting to see if Steve is coming into Discord. He said he was going to join us for a little while for a catch-up. I don't know what a catch-up means, but anyway, he said he's planning to join the stream for a little while. We've got the round, whatever match it is, round 5 match, is it, or round 4? I've forgotten what it is, between LS3 representing the United Kingdom and not England, and Coldest Pillow representing Wales. And that goes ahead in a few minutes' time at the bottom of the hour. Steve has just arrived. Let's see if Discord's still working. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Good afternoon to Steve. That's not a good start. I can see Steve's mic moving. I can't hear him. Don't tell me Discords need fixing again. Hang on a minute. This is what happens when you don't use something for a little while. Let's check and see what's went to default. Hold on. Where the hell's voice and video went to? Input device. Nope. Output device. That's went wrong. I don't know how that's defaulted. It's went to Steam for some bloody stupid reason.
What? Wow.
That's it working now. I went to check I checked my audio there. My mic is set to my headset, but for some reason the output device was set to Steam for some strange reason. This is what happens with Discord. Weird things happen to it. You don't even do nothing to it. Anyway.
Yeah, well, Discord's better than some. I'll tell you what, phones are the worst. I can't tell you how many times I've upgraded my phone software and then the settings change magically.
Well, I mean, I've updated my phone, but I don't think I've had any settings change with that. We're doing an update. No, it's usually Discord that goes weird with me. Anyway, the room is up. No, it isn't. That's Chimpy and Stefan. I lied. It's another 2 minutes before this room goes up. Anyway, Steve, I told you there's the weirdest bug I've ever seen. And this guy that I spoke to says that he's been trying to deal with support. Happy Dolo, a guy from Ireland, Republic of Ireland, he said he was trying to explain what the problem was until eventually he invited me into a room to show it. But I'll tell you, it is definitely weird. It's an infestation of advanced 8-ball rules that somehow has jumped into his black ball game, and it only happens in a challenge room. And it only happens with him. And I've got it in video for proof, which is even weirder, because when I went and tested it in my own room, everything worked fine. There was no, you actually had to call the 8-ball in black ball, which you don't need to do. You don't need to call a pocket. And there's no advanced options to do that in black ball either. So what that went out. Right, so I'm going to have a little bit of a complaint here, and this is regards the standard of all the other players I've seen in this tournament. As far as I can see, the biggest problem in this tournament at the moment is consistency. No player has showed any great level of consistency Interchange X is the only player I can pick, even though he's in the one-loss side, where he could actually pose some sort of threat to Cobra should he come through the one-loss side. Because when he does get in and he does score, he scores quite heavily. And he's still got the high run for the tournament, and nobody's beat that yet, and Cobra's the only one that's came closest to it. These two tonight, that's their biggest problem, is finding that consistency, and that's the only way you're going to beat Cobra.
Yeah, well, Cobra's tough. I mean, this game, this game is really more of playing the billiard part well than anything else. I mean, that's the part of it that I think most players are weak on. But if you know where the cue ball's running, and Cobra's pretty good with it. I wouldn't expect that Cobra would be the best player, but I mean, I think there's probably some guys that play this better than him that aren't in the tournament.
I've got that set to default. That's better.
Like Yama would be one of them.
Right, so this blue notice that you put in the lobby, Steve, about a Samsung S, whatever it is, that's just a Samsung phone, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. Well, I've got a Samsung phone, and I've got Virtual Pool 4 on it at the moment.
Yeah,
and I'm Android whatever version.
I need S25. That's S25 is the new model. I've got to go
the latest
S20
model
with an S24 Plus, who's offered a test, which we haven't been on, and I'm hoping the bug shows up on that. Yeah, I mean, it flat out won't run on S25. At least the one guy we've had test that says you can't get it to run. So, the problem with phones, I can't tell you how much money I've spent buying phones, but like an S25 is $1,100. So I don't really feel like spending $1,100 to do 10 minutes of testing to find the problem. I'm hoping I can get somebody with one that can help out. The guy that we've got is not very technical, and he's Italian. He doesn't speak good English, and so we're looking for somebody else.
Coldest Pillow had a 93 against me yesterday before scratch, and that doesn't count. Right, here we go.
Well, Hunter, I'm glad to be back.
Coldest Pillow on the right-hand side, LS3 in the left, race to 3.
So who's the favorite in this?
Well, I'm going along the grounds of that it shouldn't be that long tonight, because Coldest Pillow likes to play at a good pace, and I'm hoping to get to bed. Really, I think it's a toss of a coin between the two of these, because they've really yet to show any signs that they're going to be capable of taking down Cobra next, because that's who the winner of this plays. And neither of the two of them have really got near what you would call an impressive high run, I don't think, yet.
All you got to do is, Todd just said CP had a 93 before he scratched.
But he scratched. Yeah, that's no good.
Well, I mean, it shows potential. That's the thing is potential means a lot. Doesn't mean you're going to win, but it means a lot, because if you can get over the hump, I know how I was as a player. I kept losing and losing and losing and losing and losing and losing. And I knew my game was better than that, but I kept losing. And it took me a while to figure out how to stop losing and start winning. And I think that's where there's a lot of guys in that situation now in VP, where they can beat guys like Cobra when they figure out how to stop losing and start winning.
Where's the cue ball going?
There you go. That's what happens. You start running the cue ball loose. That's the first of probably many.
Uh-oh. Kerplunk. Back to 0.
Well, Steve, now that Bigfoot has come down from the mountains, what the hell did you get up to?
Well, I didn't get hurt, so that was the first order of business, is not getting hurt. Nobody got hurt, and Had a good time. Now that I'm back, I'm working. I'm working a lot. So I've
So
got
did you go fishing?
Yeah, I caught a bunch of fish, bunch of trout.
Is that the collective term for fish? A bunch of trout?
Well,
Or is they saying they say a parcel of trout?
yeah, I'm not sure what the collective is for trout, but yeah, I had some pretty good fishing.
And what are these trout? Are these rainbow or what are they?
These are Goldens, which, unless they've been exported, they really only have in California in the Sierras. They're
Well,
they're native
never heard of
trout.
them.
They're beautiful trout. You can look it up on the internet. They're beautiful trout.
Fish
Yeah,
are
very
schools.
unusual.
Yeah, but you don't catch a school of trout. That's the fish. Fish only become a school when they're actually swimming, or a shoal. Yeah, but there has to be a collective term. A net full of trout, something like that. Right. Anyway, LS3's thrown away what she made, and thankfully she didn't have a lot of points to throw away. But Coldest Pillow looking to administer the first court. Well, tell a lie, LS3's back in. What the hell's happened there? That jumped quick.
That's a painful thing about this game is losing points.
Welcome to Brainful Out.
Now, most of the time, people lose points. It's kind of their own fault, not where the cue ball's going. But every once in a while, you get a rub on an object ball or something, and it'll go in the pocket, and it's kind of bad luck. So, did any of you guys see the video of Stubb playing pool?
Yeah.
I looked at that, and you know what? That was pretty freaking impressive.
Yeah, but
I'll tell you what, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
seeing him play, because obviously he pocketed balls well, but his cue ball movement was pretty good, and doing that the way he's doing it is not that easy to do.
Yeah, well, I had a go at him about it because he needs to tidy up his clothing when he's actually playing pool. I mean, he looks bloody silly playing pool with a dangling sleeve. I mean, I'm sure he could have better attire to actually play the thing. This sleeve swinging and dangling all over the place. I said, look, get it tied up, for God's sake.
Are you trying to get a actual television job by saying stupid things like they do on TV? I mean, come on.
I'm telling you, it just looks bloody silly with a sleeve dangling in midair. I mean, at the risk of causing fouls as well. If he get either that or wear his bloody bionic arm, it would look a lot better than dangling a sleeve over the table.
Usually clothing fouls aren't called. I know they're on tour, but
they're not called. Well, you tell anything like that happens in snooker, boom, you're out.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that's only on the pro tour.
Mind you, you've got big guys with big T-shirts and big guts hanging over pool tables. It's more than bloody clothing fouls. It's belly fouls that you'll get in bars in the States.
Well, that's an interesting take. I mean, I watch it and I'm impressed with his level of play, and you watch it and you're depressed about his sleeve hanging down.
Don't get me wrong. He'd look well. Let's put it another way. I think he'd look a lot more impressive if he was bloody more tidy than dangling sleeves running around the table.
Oh, God.
Yes, it looks impressive, but I wouldn't. It's so distracting more than anything else. What does this say here? Wait a minute. 1 second. Coldest Pillow's mouse has gone pear-shaped. See, that's the thing about having bloody battery wireless mice. You have to be bothered with batteries and charging the damn thing. I couldn't be doing with that rubbish.
No, I agree.
I don't love to insult people. I mean, listen. I'm the voice of the people, and the rest of you agree with me. It looks bloody silly, even though you won't admit it. Just to be politically correct, it looks daft with a sleeve dangling in midair. You could either tie it up or wear a T-shirt. End of story.
I didn't even notice it.
I mean, I'm surprised his mother lets him go out the house like that.
I'm not sure he had a mother.
You think he just turned up under a bush?
Yeah,
You never know.
he's a unique individual, but I will tell you, most people who walk in the pool room ain't gonna beat that guy.
It's just a pity he can't bring it to VP4.
Well,
fancy videos for show, but winning tournaments for V dollars.
I think a lot of it, as far as real life experience goes, it gets you so far, but unless you've played at a real high level, you're not going to get to the point where you get rid of a lot of those little mistakes and you play a lot better strategy. And, I mean, he's probably just not played a lot of pool at that level because there's nothing like losing to motivate you. So you play pretty good and you run out a lot and you go play and you lose. And then you're going to go, well, why did I lose? Did I break poorly? Or my safety's no good? Did I make ball pattern mistakes? You're going to start questioning everything. When you're Stev going down to whatever local place he does and beating most of the people in there, and never playing anybody who really could play, and that's why the best thing about playing these world championship tournaments against a guy like Cobra or Albin is that now you're seeing somebody that's at a higher level than you, and the question is why, and what do they do that I don't?
It's tighter control. It's obvious when you watch them. I mean, the biggest error you make in probably most games more than anything else is the movement of the cue ball, but it's probably more so in this game because very often you get out of shape and you're trying to move the cue ball 2-3 rails to make a carom, and as soon as you start letting it go loose, you're at a high risk of finding a pocket somewhere or the cue ball doing something off a ball, half a ball, and it ended up in a pocket.
Yeah,
We've
but
seen it all too many times.
Part of that is understanding how get the cue ball where you want, but the other part of it's understanding how to get the cue ball and the object balls where you want so the shot's easy. I mean, you can move the cue ball great and not be that good at this game if you don't play the right strategies with the balls.
Mm-hmm. Well, LS3 has let Coldest pillow in because she missed a pot in the one ball. I think she was trying to get an open table shot on her next visit because she was trying to carom the 5 and the 3 or something, missed them, but missed the pot in the process. So this is a result of that. Coldest pillow's building up a little lead here. The question is, can he keep the points?
Yeah, I mean, Coldest pillow keeps getting better and better and better. I think it's almost a given at some point he's going to win one of these world championships. I think there's two guys that look like they're kind of ready to move up, and that's Interchange X and Coldest Pillow. I think those two players are close.
Well, I think the biggest surprise was the fact that I think Interchange X is fine. He's found himself in the one-loss side. Chiku, who we've seen had struggled on this table, but he comes good in the caroms generally. But Chiku sent him to the one-loss side. But I have to say, Interchange X to me, unless something disastrous happens to him, and I know he's watching, but he should be in the final with Cobra because he's the only other player in this tournament that scored anything half decent, more than once or twice during matches, to suggest that he could pose a threat to Cobra. Now Cobra's going for his third in a row here, Steve. He's only started playing Cowboy 2 years ago when he entered the first tournament, and then he won it. Then he won it last year, and now he's going for 3 in a row. And there's not another person in this tournament, including these two watching them, who are going to pose any threat because they're just not scoring heavy enough given the opportunities. Larry's a perfect example of that in the last match. Larry's main goal was to be scoring when he got opportunities, and he got opportunities very early on against Cobra in the first rack. This is heading south. Is it going to spin and hold up? And Larry couldn't take any advantage. Ended up getting done 3-0 in the end. So, I mean, you never know. Somebody could, turn it around or turn it on when it matters, but there's no real suggestion that that's going to happen. Cobra's going to cakewalk through to the final.
Well, Cobra's a smart player, and he practices. And that's the thing, is he applies himself and practices, and he gets better because he focuses on stuff.
Well, I would say this to you, Tam, rather than you saying it to me, because I've seen the forecast. All the bad stuff's really up north. The low pressure is going to run across, Cape Wrath, that area. And then the tight isobars are through the central belt. Mind you, I have to say that I'm driving into the central belt tomorrow morning. Luckily, there's no any trees round about me. So, yeah, it'll be through, and the rain will come in. It's just like a typical winter's day in Scotland, only it's in August. Yeah. Well, that's nothing. Steve would just laugh at 70 miles an hour. They're used to 140 miles an hour when they got a good proper hurricane coming in.
Yeah, but that's only if it hits you direct, which hopefully isn't happening. But it is raining here every day for like at least the next 10 days.
Yeah, I've seen posts of flooding and stuff like that going on. There's been flooding all over in loads of parts of the States.
Yeah,
that big flash flood that they had in Texas, wasn't it?
This is normal for us. I mean, for us, our rainiest month of the year is July.
Well, our rainiest month is January to January. we get rain every month of the year. But obviously, our driest times is usually this time of year. But we've got a big storm coming in overnight for Monday.
Had 7 inches in June, 10 inches in July, and August is starting out raining every day.
Yeah, that's that subtropical rain, though. That's warm rain.
Yeah.
Ours is horizontal, in your face rain.
Let's see. Well, this situation's actually looking pretty good here, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, LS3's a mile behind, but she's got a chance. What about that?
Now, why would you break those up like that? Don't you want to just play a carom and get a shot and leave those balls close together?
Well, she was on the 5-ball to try and draw to the 1 to get the carom and keep the visit going, but that's gone down the pant.
No, I meant coldest pillow. So, like, if you watch people play billiards and you watch them play like straight rail billiards or something like that, they try to herd the balls into the corner and just keep making caroms. Yeah. You get balls close together, it seems like, just by what the billiard players do, it's better to keep them close together if you can.
Well, that's the whole idea. But the thing with Cowboy is it's a pot and a carom game. So, but by the rule of the game, you're going to end up putting balls on spots. You're not going to have them gathered. Where that all comes into place when we get to the carom phase, that's when you'll see players, the good players getting the balls under control and even running straight through from 90 to 101 and out.
Uh-oh. Wow. How do you miss that shot? Are the pockets a little tighter on this table? I don't remember what they were made. Are these pockets just a little tighter? Is that what this is?
No, they're narrow in terms of the tournament settings, but it's a 10-foot table.
Yeah, no, they're not extra tight. We got to play a tournament on tighter pockets. I think we're going to do that. Maybe we should do the next 9-ball table on pockets that are 1 notch up. Not the really tight ones, but just 1 notch up and see what happens. What do you think of that?
Doesn't matter to me. I won't be playing in it. I don't care. Make them as tight as you want. 10-footer plays a little tighter.
Well,
Does
yeah, the pockets aren't tighter, but it plays tighter because you get longer shots. So just the geometry of it means you have to be more accurate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's more difficult to pot longer balls in the 10-footer.
Yeah, the required accuracy is higher on a longer shot.
And LS3's big problem is she's had goodness knows how many innings in this rack, and she's getting nowhere fast. But that's what it's like, you know. The very next rack, it could be that you can't stop her scoring, but you know, you got to find a rhythm and get things moving here.
That kind of shot she played there, that's the kind of shot, you know, you hit the 3-ball the right way and you scratch.
Mm-hmm. Well, the sucker scratch, we've seen plenty of them.
Boy, that's no good.
Well, it's no good, but it's a big target to hit either of these two balls down here.
Yep, almost scratched again.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of shots that, you know, like in my mind, if you're having to shoot those, then it's hard to get high runs because eventually you're going to end up scratching.
Yeah, and the main reason you're having to shoot those is because you're not necessarily under control. You've not got the control of the balls where you're putting the cue ball where you want it, and you're manipulating the other balls where you want them roughly. You know, that does happen. But when it doesn't happen, you start struggling by banging at balls to try and make that carom, letting things go loose, and the inevitable will happen eventually. The points will go.
Now CP's got his chance here. See how he plays this. I knew that was going to be tricky. Yeah, I thought he had to hit that super thin and go to the long rail to miss the kiss.
Now, you don't want to block yourself off here, so you should hit it hard enough. And this is good. This will get the 5 in its spot. You really want to come down the table. You want to jack up and stun down the table, down the rail here a wee bit, unless you're going to get a cross table. The danger of going a cross table is blocking yourself off to the 5. That's the danger we're going to cross like that. See, she's done it. Now, that's what I'm saying. This is why you've got to play the right shot. See, she's blocked off here slightly. And I think she can get away with it and probably catch the yellow, maybe. It's touch and go.
Why even play for the 5? Just play for the yellow. Don't take a chance with the 3 hitting the 5.
Well, that would never have been there had she played down the rail, because she could have went 5-ball to the 3-ball.
I don't know why she's not going to go forward here and try to play the yellow.
Yeah, the yellow was in the line. Welcome to Deft. Oh, welcome to Slim. I never even noticed Slim was there.
Yep, Slim's there. Did you notice I didn't include Slim on the guys ready to win the World Championship? Not because I don't think a lot of his game, but just because he seems to be stuck. I don't know why, but he seems to be stuck at the level where he's just not quite getting it done. He needs to get unstuck.
I'm bringing him down. I think that's what it is. I think it's these 9-ball Scotch doubles on a Monday. I bring him down.
Yeah, and bad example.
Mm-hmm. The standards definitely slip when I'm involved. So what about this volcano that's been lying dormant in Kamchatka Peninsula for 500 years and then it suddenly erupts? All because of that big earthquake they had.
I don't know, I mean,
I saw that in the news.
I think it sounds like there's going to be a lot more activity up north. I mean, up in Alaska and the Pacific Northwest, nothing's happened there. You got a continental plate subduction there. I mean, things could get crazy. And you notice that Kamchatka earthquake, they talked about Crescent City having the highest waves at like 4.4 feet from it. Crescent City is going to disappear. I guarantee it. It's still going to get wiped off the face of the earth. It's just a question of when.
Where exactly is that, Steve?
It's in Northern California. It's this bay that's shaped like a half moon. That's why they call it Crescent City.
Right.
And the land going off from the bay where the town is all flat. So, you know, like 20 or 30-foot wave and everything's gone. And you've got one of the faults of subduction, continental subduction off the coast there that has one of the potential for one of the biggest earthquakes you could have in the world. That's just off the coast.
So if that drops like what 10 feet, then there'd be a tidal wave from that.
Yeah, but Crescent City will be gone. I mean, it's kind of, you know, they're talking like this could happen anytime. I mean,
I'm assuming then that Crescent City must be great for house prices then.
Yeah, I don't know what it costs for a house up there, but I can tell you that that's not where you want to live. You can go on the internet and look at pictures of it, and you'll see it's like the worst shape it could be. It's flat, which is the worst it could be, and it's in the worst spot as far as tidal waves.
Well, yeah, LS3's heading the right direction here. She's in 34.
Well, I mean, Coldest Pillow's just going nowhere.
Well, there's a commentator's curse again, folks.
Yeah. Well, this will be Coldest Pillow's third chance at 91. I mean, he's gotten two that he's missed, and here we go again. Obviously, he needs to work on the Cameron part of his game because he's not getting it done.
Yeah, the problem here is one good shot to get, you know, two balls adjacent to one another.
Yeah, well, you know, especially, you know, the ball off the rail, like this 3 balls a pretty easy hit, but you can miss it. I mean,
see the problem with that shot. Look at the line of the cue ball. You see, you've got to play that as a two-way shot in my book.
Yeah.
Because you can't just throw all your eggs into one basket in this game. You've got to play it as a two-rail shot, as much as it might be risky, because this is now a great opportunity for LS3.
Well,
I mean, he's only 92. LS3 can pinch this.
See, this kind of hit. I can't believe she missed that. I mean, that kind of hit is, you know, really pretty easy when the ball's close to the rail like that.
That's a terrible miss, as a matter of fact. Now looking at it, that's an awful miss. You should never miss them.
So he's got to decide whether he's hitting it thin or going forward here. It looks like he's going forward. Watch out. Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, the biggest problem here is how far apart all the balls are. I mean, that just makes it way tougher.
Well, you can overcut the 3 and run to the 1, but you've got a danger of potting the 1 as well. You can go with left side of the 1 as we look up the long rail to the 5 up in the top rail.
I don't like the way he's going. I would have gone on the left side of the 1 and played for the 3 because it was natural to just go 2 rails into it. You know, that whenever you start trying to hit a real thin edge of the ball, it gets tougher. You got to be more accurate. And when it's that distance from it, I mean, he was way better off going the other way where he could hit it thicker. I mean, I'm not a billiards player and I don't play this game, but I mean, it's just, you know, basic. Here's the thing that if you guys don't realize this, you really should take a look at this, because anywhere from like a half ball to a quarter ball, even less than a half ball hit, everything, the cue ball will want to go on a 30-degree angle. So what I'm saying is you've got this huge target to make the cue ball go 30 degrees. And then you can use English to kind of open up or whatever off the rail. But when you start taking a little piece of the ball, the target's super small. So you can go online and look at this, like Dr. Dave or other people have, you know, they've got videos about it. But go look at, you know, where the cue ball wants to go when it's rolling, and look at this thing on 30 degrees. You'll find out the piece of the cue ball that you can hit and get that angle is gigantic. So if you got a choice between a thin hit and a thicker hit, it's almost always going to be take the thicker hit, unless there's some reason the rest of the shot's really difficult.
Well, LS3's got she's going to have to play the stun here, I think. And what's she looking at? Aye, you got to play the stun.
I'll find it.
They're looking at the 3 ball to spin. Well, you need a bit of left English on this if you're going to spin up to the 1. And that'll do. Now we're in business. Well, we might be, but I think she just got herself dead straight again. Again, it's a big risky stun to the 3, 1 ball running loose. But again, you can thin edge it and cut across the 1 again. That's what she's doing. It might get the 5.
Yeah, it's
Might
quarter
get
to
the
3.
5.
It's quarter to 3/4. Let's see. Is
Uh-oh.
it gonna let me post something in chat? It's really gonna let me do it.
That's the 3. But I think I killed links in the chat because of that. The porn links that were appearing.
I just posted one.
Did you? I can't see it.
Maybe it didn't
Well,
show
that's
up.
a 3 ball out the game.
Okay, well, just look up Dr. Dave 30-degree rule. There's some articles and there's some videos. It's basically from 1/4 to 3/4. The ball all comes off. If you can't,
Where's the cue ball
aim
going?
a half ball most of the time. If you can't do that, then just give up pool. If you got half the ball you can hit and you can't hit it, you got problems.
Well, this is going to be hard work. LS3's lost her points. She's back to 76. And
Yeah, well, he's got a problem here with a 3 ball in the pocket. So, I mean,
well, no, the 1 ball's thinking about it as well. So
yeah, he's got big problems there.
LS3 will tidy these up when she gets back to the table.
He needs to hit the long rail first there. Go 5 ball long rail and a lot of left spin and spin into that 1 or it's going in. Yeah, see, you played that the wrong way. You go to the long rail with a lot of spin. I'm not saying you can't make the 1 that way, but you got a lot better chance of not making it.
Well, I think the idea of keeping this table some sort of safe to stop LS3 scoring again is a bit. I think it was just, hit the ball and do something rather than try and be clever. The LS3 will get these, well, apart from the 1 ball, that is. But you got to go 2 rails. And got to go narrow. Got to go narrow or go long and into the long rail. That's putting the 1 away. Well, that's tidied that up. And also it's a setup for LS3 to continue. Apart from the fact she needs a good pot.
Yeah, I mean, this sort of play where you get to 90 real fast and then you struggle, that's not going to beat Cobra.
No.
And after, I haven't seen Coldest Pillow play this till now. So after seeing this, I have seen Interchange X. I agree with you. Interchange X is the guy that's got the best chance because he seems to have a lot better handle on the carom part of this game than CP does.
So, Coldest Pillow in 95. LS3 far from out of this if she can actually get this 90 and get these balls under some level of control. And that's a terrible miss.
She took down Chico, so I mean, you got to figure that she's got, enough game to win this match. Just hasn't looked like it.
Oh yeah, but that's what happens in Cowboy. You can be terrible for the first rack, and then suddenly everything kicks into gear.
That's if I had to describe a game that was like that, I'd say it would be Banks. I'm not kidding. I've played some guys that were, you know, really strong at Banks. Like I played Jason Shaw, okay, and I don't care who it is, you can miss and miss and miss, and you know, you just like, it's just that sort of game where it just doesn't want to work sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coldest pillow. 5 balls going to go around the table. That takes him to 99. Well, the force follow is on to the 5. He's trying to go to the 1. The only thing about that is that if you played the force follow to the 5, you would actually, if you actually come off that 5, you could stun in off the 1 ball. I don't know whether you saw that shot, but if you'd played the force follow, you could have got to the 5 and stunned the outshot off the 1. I think he missed a trick there.
Oh, this is no good.
The other thing is LS3's, you know, she's trying to stay at the table and obviously score, but again, she should be thinking about protecting this 1 ball. She might not get a chance to do it though.
Well,
there you go.
He's got a shot at it.
This should be fairly straightforward. The 1 ball's going well out the way, and the follow through into the pocket for 1-0.
This is one of those thin hits again. Thinner is better than thicker here, unless you miss it.
You can go force follow through, but thin, you know, if you get the eyes to do it, then it'll work.
Yeah.
So 1-0. And that was what, after, well, 37 minutes.
All right. Well, I'm going to say goodbye and go to work. Anything else you got for me?
Well, have a look at that video if you can watch it for 12 minutes, because I do rant on a bit, but it's important you look at it.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
And see if you understand where I'm coming from, because it's now. Do you know what 8-ball game, Steve, has the alternate endings? Remember when we did testing on 8-ball and VP4? There's a version of 8-ball where you can actually choose
I think
last pocket.
I think the American ones may all have it, but
right. Well, that somehow has infested Happy Dola's black ball game in a challenge room. Doesn't happen in a tournament room, and it only happens with him. Anyway, you'll have plenty of time to work that one out.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Yeah, I'm going to need a seance to do that.
Right then.
All right.
Happy work time.
Yep, good to be back. Enjoy the stream, and I'll see you guys later.
Right, take care. See you later. I'll just tab out and shut this Discord down in a minute. Right, I'll do it now. I will do it right now if I can remember where the bloody thing is on the taskbar. Where is it? There it is. What Discord? Oh, I missed a scratch there. That's too straight, I think, is it? Oh no, it's fine. Perfect. Oh, that isn't. Oh, I thought he'd missed it. Now, 5-ball into the side, and if you can miss the 3-ball and stay up top like that, you're in reasonable shape, apart from the fact it should have went inside rather than as much outside, but that'll do. It just means there's a wee bit more angle to get there. And now have you kept a ball alive? Well, the 3 ball is close to the knuckle. I think you're going to hit the knuckle. What's today's date? August the 3rd? 15 days to my birthday. I just thought I'd mention that. Well, 15 days to stay alive to my birthday. And the visit ends in 16. The lead is 29. LS3 is going to need a decent pot here to get in. I went for the carom, but
Where's the cue ball going?
Cue ball running loose. More disaster. Now, I think Coldest Pillow's going to have to kick the 3 ball in because all the balls are in the kitchen. So that's a fairly easy task to do, although I wouldn't be, I'd be doing that. Is that going to get there? Yeah. And that could have finished worse. That's not bad. Good evening to Vertical Liquid. Well, I think LS3's had 2 scratches in this rack, so she had to get off the mark, and she could be a long ways behind when she gets to the table. Now, this cue ball has to be up in the kitchen here. It has to be up in the kitchen. And that's very well played because you want to give yourself options here. And you've got options for the 3 to the 5, but more importantly, you want to get that 5 into play. That wasn't the kitchen, that was the other end. Aye, that's right. That was the other end of the table, not the kitchen. Top of the table, I meant. I'm not even sure what end of the table I was at there, but anyway, the one thing that has been achieved is that the 5 ball was brought into play. 1 ball's there for the pot. Carom set up to follow. The lead is 53 and counting. So, Coldest Pillow is now favourite at the moment to go 2 in front. It's all up to LS3 whether she wants to play a part in this. She's going to have to score something and keep them. Well, the run is 30. That needs to keep going. It might be too straight. Yeah. So this is push them out the way and go to the 1, and that's well done. Now, of course, back to square 1 because the 5 ball's now dead. So now you've got to look at a way immediately to try and release the 5, but he's missed the pot in the 3. So much focus on getting an angle from the 3 when it's spotted to get the 5 out. Forgot to pot the 3. The run ends in 37. The lead is 66. Now, if you want to send any message out to your opponent when you're in this state, it's important that you do come in and you do score and you do keep them. And straight away, LS3 can't find a carom tonight. Or did she get it? Must have just scraped the edge. My eyes never even saw it. Now, this looks better. This is just a thin edge, and it'll be a half ball 5. At least it should be. But it might send it to the long rail.
Where's the cue ball going?
And the spin's going to keep it out. Right. Got to be the 5 ball, stay up above the 3. Now, if you're going to play the 1, you've got to go over the left side, because the 3 ball's higher up on the table and you don't want to be straight. You don't want to be like this. And I think she'll get away with that. That looks good. Just, and no more. Well, again, I'd be potting the 3 ball this time, because you're coming up into the table. The 3 ball's going to be spotting higher than the 5. If you're going to pot the 5, you've got to move this cue ball. Unless you're going to leave it there for the 5-1 at distance, I would pot the 3. Definitely pot the 3. You're coming down the table and you're going to have an easy 3-5 to follow, unless you pot the 1, which is tougher at distance. Now, everybody sees different ways of playing shots. That needs to slow up, though. It needs to slow up. She can get there. It's just a wee bit loose, though. Well, this will be more like conventional layout here in a minute once this 5 ball goes down. And that'll do. So it's just beginning to shape up a little bit better here for LS3. I don't want to jinx her by saying that, but well, it's gone pear-shaped immediately, because now she's out of line. Going to have to work the cue ball here a wee bit, I think. It's all very well potting the 3 in the side, but the cue ball's going to have to be somewhere where you can have a shot. Well, I'm not convinced that's it, though. I mean, there is a fairly easy 3-railer into the 5. She's going for the draw. Well, the shot now obviously is the 1. And just roll it in dead weight. The cue ball wants to open out to the left, but if you just roll it in dead weight, you'll hold a reasonable line to go from that 1 to the 3. Just like that, as long as the 1 goes in. Now, so far, so good. It's still only 23 points. Now, the 1 ball needs to get out of the way. Now, this is where you've got to cut the 3. I mean, every day of the week, you've got to cut the 3. It's an easy enough cut. It's off the rail. It should be comfortable. And there's an easy carom to follow. Or at least there should have been an easy carom to follow. Yeah, suddenly it's a wee bit dodgy. It's going to have to be the draw again. Big target, though. Wee bit more testy, because the cue ball again is just going to have to do a bit of yardage here to come up. to open up that carom. That will do. It really needs to be working in and around the 5 ball to be gathering the points a bit more here. Just a little nudge here and get that 5 ball back in its spot. I think it's gone tight to the rail though. Yeah, it's gone to a dodgy, it's not frozen, but it's just a wee bit tricky. But you can leave a force follow to nudge that 5 out here. This is a bit on the thin side though for the thin edge. Ah, it's the double kiss, the dreaded double kiss. And look at the way they're lined up now. Well, good luck with this to stay at the table. The most important thing of all is don't let the cue ball run loose and lose all the points. Got to keep these points. Work hard enough to get them. You just don't want to throw them down the pan. They're never easy. So the run ends in 34. It gets her into the game. And Coldest Pillow's going to have to do the work here to retrieve this 5 ball. This 1 ball. You don't want to end it up on top of the 5. But this is a good opportunity now. Get the 3 ball on its spot and try and work out a way to drop onto that 5. It could be now if you do the force follow and get that half. Ah, the 1 ball's pushed it away though. Anyway, need to go to plan B. It's still looking good though. Now you could actually stun into the 5 and get it out. Well, this is, again, it's perfect for the half. I mean, the 5 ball, you cut the 5. The only worry with that shot is that the 1 ball's now on its spot and you've made life that little bit more difficult in the sense that you've now got a wee bit more distance between everything. The Coldest Pillow's not hanging about. That takes him to 84. That's landed very nice, I think. Sure, there's plenty of room to get that 5 ball out of there. And there's a shot in the 1. The only thing you got to be careful with is you don't accidentally carom the 5 ball. Should be well away from that, but this for 90. And that 3 ball sitting pretty good for a two railer into the back of the 3 ball. Just got to double check the cut angle in the 1. Nothing worse than playing the 2 railer when you end up potting the 1. Well, now it's going to be harder. But there is, I mean, the 1's a target area. I mean, there's a two-way shot here, which is, again, suicide. It's something I would play. I would overcut the 5 and go the 2-3 rails, and if not, down to the 1. I'd be playing a two-way shot here. Highly risky, but fancy if you get it. But you've got to make sure you're overcutting the 5 and you're not potting it. But nobody's as daft as I am. Hasn't got the legs. So the run ends in 26. Again, Coldest Pillow's just on 92, and he's not in an unassailable lead here. But again, it's LS3 coming to the table with the knowledge that she really has to put something together. And I feel this time, I think, you know, you've got to be really bordering on the edge of 90 here before you leave the table, or your chances are going to diminish rather rapidly. I think now would be a good time, because I don't intend to hang around at the end of this match. I intend to be jumping into bed. Now would be a good time just to look at the one-loss side. We can see that Tommy came through that match with... sorry, Interchange X came through that match with Tommy the other night. That should still be up on Slim's channel if you want to watch it. But he won it 3-1, and so Interchange X is now waiting on the loser of this match coming through. So that's who they will be playing next round. On the one-loss side, on the bottom half of the draw, we've got Mr. Fox up against Jose, and then the winner of that will then play the winner of VP Monster and Shiku. And then the winner of those two will then play Larry. So that's got a long way to go, right up until August the 17th for the Larry deadline date, and then August the 12th for these matches. So they're still a ways away, but you would like to think that communication has been made between all players at this stage. So that's how it is. And meanwhile, LS3 still at the table. And I've just jinxed her immediately as soon as I come back in. The run ends in 16. She's on 50. And another opportunity again. Well, I think I'm surprised that Coldest Pillow couldn't draw off that with bottom right English and try and spin into that 5-ball. Maybe the angle wasn't good. And straight away, LS3 hands it back to him. And this is what's frustrating about Cowboy. It is, I mean, there are days when, you know, you're making the caroms, you're making the pots, and everything's falling into place. And then there are days like this where it's just, you know, start, stall. The score points, lose them in a scratch. You just can't seem to get going. Here we go again. LS3 with another chance. Now, she ended up in 50 in her previous visit, ended up in 55 there. This has got to count this time. You know, there is some point where you eventually have to get going. There has to be a greater sense of urgency here to get right back into this before Coldest Pillow's getting to that threshold where, you know, 94 is still doable. It's not out of touch. Oh dear. And the more I talk about it, the worse LS3 gets. Looks as if it's going too straight. Well, there's again, I mean, this looks a reasonable line to try a three-railer running up that line. That's the kind of stuff I'd be going for. This might work.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, it's found a gap. And here we go again. We're waiting and waiting and waiting. And see if there's going to be any life in LS3 in this rack. Well, she got the little carom after the pot there, so it's an open table, but it's probably going to have to be another carom. Well, this is going to be tough because, again, 3 balls isolated, 5 balls going to go in the spot, and as long as you don't go too far up, don't go too far up. Well, that'll work. It will work. 30 points behind. You see, going for that 5 ball is leaving yourself one option. Cutting the 3 and staying up top gives you 2 options. To me, it's a no-brainer. That's the shot I would always be playing there. Because you never know that you're not going to get quite in line, and there's a chance that you might have to choose the other ball as a backup. So I would have always cut that 3 ball and got it on its spot and stayed up top. You'd think sooner or later LS3 is going to get to 90 here. But how many innings is she going to need to get there, though? And is she going to be fortunate enough to be leaving ugly enough tables to stop Coldest Pillow eventually falling over the line anyway? Another awkward one. Well, she was trying to play the draw there, but I don't think, in all honesty, she was committed either way. Because the cue ball didn't really do a lot. But like I said, I mean, this table is not, there's not anything that's a gimme on here. I mean, there is a 2-way shot off the 1 ball. And that's well played. And if anything, that's the one you did want to hit, because it does that. It brings the 5 up towards the 3. Well, still another one off the edge of that 5 and along the short rail to the 3. You certainly don't want to be trying to go direct to it. You got to go the rails. Just don't want to hit it too hard and kill it in the pocket. Well, now we're in high risk territory here. Do you play the 1 ball and go to the 3? Or do you just push a ball to a rail? Or do something so that you don't lose what you've just got? I think the latter sounds better to me. Yeah. Yeah, might as well leave it awkward. LS3's the one doing the chasing. And that was the right thing to do. Just don't do anything daft and don't take any risk. Okay, LS3's in, but, you know, Coldest Pillow's red hot favourite here for 2-0. And We are an hour and 4 minutes into this match. And this is no good either. Yes, there's a pot on, but again, it's tough. And got to watch the cue ball as well. This cue ball wants to find the corner pocket. Big stunning draw there to avoid it, and that was well played. Still not in great control here. No, didn't get there. And again, well, loads of right English, go to the short rail and kick the back of the three. Yeah. Just get the edge of that 5 ball. Let the English do the work. Didn't. Far too thick. Might get second prize though. Maybe that's what he played. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Takes him to 99. But can have another go. Thin edge of the 5. And go tight to the corner there. Bit of right English again to bump the 3. But you've got to be able to see the 1 though. Because you need the outshot. You don't want to hit this too soft and block yourself behind the 3. And that's well done. Punches the 3 out the way. And again, this is not the most difficult outshot you're ever going to play in Cowboy. This is just judging the edge. And that's well done. And that takes Coldest Pillow 2 in front after an hour and 7 minutes. And LS3 at the point of no return now. Got to win this one to stay alive on the winner's side. But more important than that, you've got to make some sort of statement that there's, letting your opponent that there's some sign of life left in you, that you're capable of doing something. We know she can score. We've no doubt of that. But it ain't happened tonight at all yet. There's still time. No better time than now, though. Well, the bonus there with the 5 ball going in. Big stun from the 5 to... I tell a lie, no, it's a pot. I'm going downhill rapidly here because bedtime's kicking in. The usual story. Well, the cue ball's not in the best position. As when you start having to play draw shots and all sorts, you're then relying on how the ball's going to roll out for you. It gets bumped with the 5. The shot you have to take now is the 1 ball, because now you're working at the kitchen end of the table. The 1's going to go in its spot. You're going to have an easy carom set up. As long as you don't get too close. That'll do, though. Got to keep a ball in play for a pot, though. You see, it immediately becomes awkward. That 5 ball cuts. The 1 ball's a blind pocket cut top right. And suddenly it's become tough. And there you go. And that's how easy it is to get yourself out of line. The run ends in 21. Coldest Pillow with an easy starter, which is what you always want. So the pot and the carom leaves the open table. 5 ball going in its spot, and then you should have a two-way shot here, either a 5 to the 3 or a 3 to the 1, whichever looks better. One ball gets a little nudge, and it's the only option because everything else is awkward. So one ball again, isolated on its spot. So you've got to get good for the 5-3. And once again, the golden rule, pot the 3, stay up top, but get in a good line. So what Coldest Pillow's doing is looking at the spot, because you want to know where you want to put the cue ball to give you that line from the 3 to the 5. Now you're either coming across this way, or in this case he's going up table to open up the 5-3 this side. That'll work, but again, it will work, but you're at distance. As soon as you start playing force follows at distance, they're not quite 100% gimmies. And now it's back in under control. And Coldest Pillow does, out of everybody in the tournament, he does score his points quick. There's no messing about. And the deficit's already been wiped away. Oh, no, it's a thin cut in the 3. That's really what you want to do. You can go up and down the table. You see, that's a sort of in-between shot. That's going to end up in no man's land. You've got to hit that harder. But it's a big draw to the 1. To the 5, sorry. Now the 1 ball needs to stay out the way or stay there, then you can pot the 3. So we're back in business again. Even a slightly awkward roll of a ball can lock, it can block off a path to a pocket. Anything stupid can happen, and you're just dreading it happening when you're in the middle of a run. So that keeps the 5 in play. You can get the 5 in the spot, and again, you're lined up with an option of 2 shots here. Well, that's running too much.
Where's the cue ball going?
Yeah, that was far too heavy. Got away with it. Again, it's just threatening to go pear-shaped. Again, you don't want to go too far, and that's perfect. Now, if you come off this 1 ball, you could pot the 5, get the 5 back in the spot and play the... Well, that's gone wrong. That's gone wrong. Not the way I would have wanted it to turn out. Set it too thin, but again, get the 1 ball on its spot. Now, you've got to remember, you've got that line there, so you got to watch the cue ball. You see, the cue ball's now not in a perfect line, and it's a big target for a 2-reeler into the back of the 5, but Coldest Pillow's taking the VP4 escape route, the big draw. The danger there was the 1 ball catching up with the cue ball before the cue ball got to the 3. And now we're back under better control here. So now committing to the 5 ball, getting a line for the 1 to the 5. See, that's too thin for the thin edge, so it's the force follow. And it's now going to be hard work again because nothing's sitting comfortable. You've got a dodgy cut in the 3, you've got an even dodgier cut in the 5, or the one to the easiest, of course, is the 1 ball. But Coldest Pillow's thinking about, you know, the 3 spot and the 5 being near the 3 spot. That's what he's thinking. And that is pretty well played. That's a good shot. The run is 65. Five on its spot. Now, again, if the 3's going on its spot, you're coming up into below the 5 ball here. Like that. As long as that doesn't travel anymore, I think it's straight. Yeah. So now you've got to rely on pulling off a shot here. Trying to get to the 1 ball, and that's well played. Nice recovery. Where's the 5 going? Well, it's not dead in the rail. And, well, you've got to get up top here. You don't want to hit the 3, you want to miss it, just like that. Takes him to 80. Now the 5 ball for 86, and you're going to have to go 5 ball to the 3 ball next, I would assume. Well, that cue ball's running a bit more for my liking, unless he's going 5 to 1. The only problem with that is you don't want to be playing the 5 if it's in line for the pot, and I think that's what's got him worried. See, that's why it'd have been far better going 5 to 3, because you could pot the 3 with the carom and you wouldn't go over 90. Now, in this angle here, it's not. It's very, very tight to the corner to get to that 1 ball playing a force follow. So the shot is going to the rail to kick the 1, or going to the rail to kick the 3. Now, to me, kicking the 3 is a lot easier than getting to the 1. He's trying to catch the edge. The 1 ball going in, it'll be a bonus. What the hell's he typing there? He thought he'd fouled. He thought he was over 90. What a numpty. Look at the scoreboard. Now, he wants to keep focused here. He's on a run of 88. Now, can he pot the 1 and get the extra point? No, he can't. Now, the problem with that, having missed the carom to the 3, this is a risky shot. Very risky. Has it got the legs? Yes, it does. Is it getting there? No, it isn't. The run ends on 89. Just as Interchange X thought his high run was going to go. And, well, Coldest Pillows pretty much broke the back of this match with that run. Just when you want to take the match away from LS3, a good run like that really ramps up the pressure. But LS3, having missed the 3, has killed it in the pocket. So this is just going to be a matter of time, you would think, until Coldest Pillow gets the job done. Now, that run from Coldest Pillow, he has to be doing stuff like that, but more than once in this next match that he will have, which will be the hot seat match, I think. I'm pretty certain it is. Yes, it is. It's going to be the hot seat match, and the assumption is that Coldest Pillar is going to get there. Now, when he gets opportunities like he's had in this rack and running an 88 or an 89, you've got to do that more than likely more than once out of those 5 racks that you could possibly play against Cobra if you're going to put him under pressure. And if you fail to reach those heights, you're not going to win a rack. But he's heading in the right direction, has to be said.
Where's the cue ball going?
And Coldest Pillow is going to get a free go here. LS3 running loose for the cue ball at the point of no return. It's a time where you do take risks. I mean, you're pretty much dead and buried. You've got to start making points one way or another. So you're in a high risk frame of mind. You've just got to let it go, let loose. And the one good thing about this is I'll get to bed at a slightly more reasonable time than it possibly could have been. And everybody that plays Cowboy will have exactly the same days as what LS3's had today. She's barely scored, and when she has scored, she's lost them. And visits have been short. Everybody's like that. More of us are like that more often than not, it has to be said, myself included. I think it's all going to be too late.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Now, here's a question for anybody who's paying attention here. I watched a movie on iPlayer the other night, and it was All the President's Men, which I've seen on a few occasions. And have any of you seen All the President's Men? That's the first question, because I've got another question to follow it. Now, nobody said anything in the chat for about 20 minutes, so it's time you did. Who has saw All the President's Men with Robert Redford and what do you call him? Dustin Hoffman. Don't tell me none of you have seen. You've not seen All the President's Men. Well, you really need to see it. It's about the two New York Post. I think it was a New York Post. What's the name of the paper? I think it was that. The two reporters that investigated the Watergate break-in in the early 70s. Of course, President Nixon was the president at the time, and it brought down his presidency. And of course, these two reporters are the ones that done a lot of investigative work, trying to, trace everything and trail everything and put it together. But my question is that in all the times I've seen the film, my question, I've only ever got one question, and the question is who the hell is Deep Throat? Who the hell is he that Robert Redford goes to see on 3 or 4 occasions in the dimly lit garage, as you guys call it in the States? Did he work for the CIA? Did he work for the FBI? Just who the hell was he? Because I don't think we ever get told in the movie. And I always scratch my head at the end of the movie thinking, well, who the hell is he? Because he's telling Robert Redford sort of cryptic clues. Yeah, well, I've never seen the X-Files. So, LS3's plodding along back at the table, miles behind. Slim to zero chance of getting out of a hole here. He was the deputy director of the FBI. What, you mean deep throat in All the President's Men? Welcome to Dabs. What makes you think you know that, Brainful Out? Because I've always scratched my head about that. I mean, why, more to the point, how did you find that out, or where did you read it? Ah, Wikipedia says that. Now, the thing is was that correct in real life? Because those two guys, those two characters, that Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford play, if you look at the movie credits, the actual movie's based along the book that the two of them wrote about the whole incident, about the whole investigation, the journalistic investigation. The two of them are collaborators in the book that then obviously went to the movie. And Robert Redford had a big part in, I think he was a producer in the movie. Yeah, because I've always been puzzled. Why is this guy telling Robert Redford all of this stuff? And why is he being, he tells him, he gives him a clue, follow the money. All these donations that were coming in, hundreds of thousands of dollars were coming in, and money was getting paid out to grease people's pockets for all sorts of shady deals that was going on. It's a good film. I mean, that's the thing, is it's not. I mean, it's not probably a film for a couple to sit down and think, oh, here's a romantic movie coming on because Robert Redford's in it. It's nothing like that. It's all journalistic. It's all dialogue. It's all of that. There's no lovey-dovey in it. There's no bullshit like that in it. It's a proper film. And Ned Beatty's in it as well. Ned Beatty's got a little cameo role in it. Of course, that's before he gets shafted in the woods, playing Piggy Wiggy. No, in fact, that was after it. I think All the President's Men was made after Deliverance, as a matter of fact, now that I think about it. Right, LS3. She's plodding away. You never give up. You just keep going, because you never know. But Coldest Pillow just 4 points away from a hot seat match with Cobra. Did an interview in 2005 where he confirmed that he was deep throat. He wanted to take over after Hoover as director, because Hoover was he was made head of the FBI for life, wasn't he? Or maybe he was he not maybe in the running for head of the FBI and then get his nose out of joint because Hoover was made life president or whatever the hell they call them. Yeah, well, if there's any there not seen All the President's Men, that's a movie you want on like your bucket list. You want to watch that. It also helps if you're of a certain age where you remember all the scandal at the time, which Unfortunately, I remember it, even though I was a kid. I remember it all. It was all over the TV. LS3 moves on to a run of 34 and counting. Well, I've jinxed her again. As soon as I open my mouth, there it goes. Well, at least she's kept her points. Takes her to 78. The table's ugly. Needing a good one from Coldest Pillow to get in. Now, this is very tight around the corner to get to the one. He's trying to come back and he's caught the edge. Where's the 5 ball going? No, bye-bye. And you never know. Coldest Pillow could be stalled in 97 for half an hour here. I'll have a quick drink. Well, 88. Playing the bank and the draw. Now, if the one had gone in, that would have been a bonus. As it is, she's on a pot. The one is in play. And there's a 3 to 5 sitting to get into the caroms. This has got to come out. It's got to come out. Well, that's doable. Now, this is all about controlling the 3 ball here, because you want the 3 ball down for the 1. And it's going to go 2 rails. And it needs to slow up. Well, the 1 ball, if you're playing the thin edge, you've got to be careful. Yeah, well, the 1 ball's not dead and buried in the pocket, but this is going to take a fair bit of spin to get there. I think you've got to either overcut the 1, miss a double kiss, and try and bump the 3. And that's the problem. The double kiss was always the problem. See, the other shot would have been, you know, to stun the 3 ball and bank it up the table and stun the cue ball to the rail with loads of left spin to get there. But the danger there is a scratch off the back of the 1. So, where's this 3 ball ending up? It's gone in the hole. Now, this has got to go long rail into the back of the 5. You cannot play this direct. You've got to play long rail. Where's the cue ball going?
Where's the cue ball going?
And now that is unlucky. It's unlucky. The only thing that's going to help LS3 is the fact that 2 balls are in the kitchen. And the 1 ball is still a target that you can get to and possibly still keep the 1 ball in play, but it's high risk. Well, left side of the 5 is definitely the shot. You've got to try and get to the first diamond on the long rail. In fact, inside the first diamond, so that you're cutting across the 1 ball. If you're going to come this way and you hit it too hard, you're going to scratch off the back of the 1 ball that way. Well, that's not getting to the 3. I presume he's played for the 3. And it's a risky. Well, this is risky because the 3 is going to go over near the the 1 ball, sorry. Now that's got to go inside. Now it's getting messy. It's getting Lionel Messi. Doomed to failure, this. Oh, she's trying to go soft to the one. Into the back of it. Not bad. Not bad. Oh. Now, you know what I would do here? I would, if it was me, I would be just leaving the table ugly. Really, I'd be just edging off the one and going to the long rail on the left. She's trying to get there. You've got to leave Coldest Pillow working to get these remaining caroms. But she's only 2 points behind. It's looking like it's over, but it ain't over yet. Now, likewise for Coldest Pillow, what he doesn't want to do is this. And leave a comfortable starter for LS3. Now, this isn't comfortable, but it's easily doable. Round the corner, back of the one ball. And we could be in business here. And that is doable as well. Takes her to 97, all square. Now it's immediately got dodgy. Now this is a feather edge of the one ball, and you'll get another carom out of this. Now you could be really aggressive and punch this around and go to the 5 ball and at least get the one ball down this way, but it's highly risky if you're running it with a lot of pace, and it's not running with a lot of pace. And well, it's not bad. I mean, you can go right edge, short rail back of the 3. Don't want to try and go direct to this. You've got to go back rail. I didn't get the line. It's too thick.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh, and there's a disaster again. All the hard work to get those caroms and they've gone. And what's more, it could be the beginning of the end this time, although the 5 ball's sitting awkward. Well, Coldest Pillow's got a chance to get to this 5 ball. Again, got to be long rail. No, he's going to draw. Danger with the draw is that. And again, you've got to see that coming. That's always a danger. When you start running loose like that and drawing to a ball and it's near a pocket, you know the risk you're taking. And that's headed the same way. Oh, goodness me. Oh, dear. Well, that deserves one of them.
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
Coldest Pillow says he hopes I'm not watching. Of course I'm watching. I'm watching to the bitter end. I've started, so I'll finish. Now, that was an easy one. That was an easy carom. And LS3's got off the hook there, although again she's been left an ugly table. One ball's gone again. Oh dear. Well, what a comedy of errors we've just seen here. Now, again, let me have a look at this. Let me have a look at the line. See, there's an overcut in the one, short rail, long rail, down here to the 3. I mean, this is perfectly safe in the sense you can overcut the one, you're not going to pot it. But you need to get the spin working in the cue ball if you're going to go thin edge, short rail, long rail, so that the spin will take you out to the 3. If you don't get into it good enough, and you don't get the edge thin enough, it'll all go ugly. Well, he's trying to go direct to the 5. One thing's assured, though, that the table's, again, not easy. Now, this is a highly risky two-way shot again. You've got to watch you're not cutting the 3. And gets the edge. LS3 hanging on for survival here. Now, again, you can go to the rail just before the pocket and hit this one. You could play the 5 to the 3 to the 1. Another chance to at least squeeze another carom out of this. Now, the 1 and 3 are a big target if you're going right side of the 5. But again, it's risky when you're going near a ball and edging a ball that's near a pocket. You could scratch off it. Well, she's hit the top side. And the force follower's on to take her to 99. And look at where the 1 ball's sitting. Well, you want to just be bumping this 5-3 like that, so you've got the in off straight into the side pocket. Oh, you don't want to do that, though. You don't want to do that. Would you believe it? She's blocked herself off with the 5. And, well, she doesn't get the hit. That hard work could be gone. It'll be the hardest 5 caroms that she's made tonight. And they'll be down the pan if she doesn't get a legal hit in this 1 ball. And there you go. All down the pan. So, Coldest Pillow will either be playing a draw or running the cue ball to get this carom. But LS3's had 2 occasions where she's been in front in this carom phase and lost them both. Oh, this is as good an opportunity now for Coldest Pillow. Thin edge of the 3 to the 5. Don't block yourself off on the outshot. And this is a straight force follow into the side pocket for the match. And that's as close as LS3 has come to winning a rack in that last visit. Until the 5 blocked it. And in goes the cue ball. Oh no, it doesn't. Would you believe that? Hits the point, stays in the table. And look where the 1 ball is, though. Now you can go to kick the back of the 3. And, well, the steal is on here. It is very much on again. Now what do you do? Thin edge of the 5 to the 3, or do you go 3 to the 1 with a force follow? I've managed to squeeze that one out, but now it's tricky again. And you've got to watch the bank and the 3 ball. Well away from that.
Where's the cue ball going?
And the cue ball almost died again. Well, there's another perfectly good carom on here as long as you've got the line right. You've got to get that spin though for it to help it around the corner.
Where's the cue ball going?
And it's gone again. Oh dear. Oh, for the 3rd time. Well, it ain't going to be your night when this is happening. It just ain't going to be your night. And Coldest pillow, again, has missed his second attempt. Now, that wasn't difficult either. He's missed his second attempt. You know what happens when that starts happening. But I think this is very much last chance saloon. It looks very much like it. What other strange things are going to happen here? Well, push the 1 up the table and run through to the 5. You've got to get this 1 somewhere down here or keep it there, but you've got to keep it good. The problem is the 5 ball's now out of the game. That was not the way I would have played it. I would have sent the 1 down the table. And now it's very hard work. But can she keep the caroms this time? But is it worth it? I mean, you could easily bank the 1 across towards the 5 and more or less keep the 1 safe-ish doing that. And she's not thinking about it. She's trying to keep scoring points here and might still get it. But that wasn't the shot. Got to keep that 1 safe. Now, she's going to go all out to try and get it. If you get it, you're a hero. But if you don't, you've sold out, because if you bring that cue ball back up the table, you're handing it in a plate to Coldest pillow more than likely. This is not the shot. It's brave. And she needs a lot of luck to come out good, because that 5 ball might actually kill it for her. And this is going to be a sellout. Yeah, she should have took a note from Jose's demonstration the other day, because this is a force follow into the corner. And the 1 ball's going to be well out the way of the cue ball as long as you play this right. The 1 ball's going to be well out the way. And didn't get the line. 5 ball gets knocked in. And again, there is still a glimmer here, but look where the 1 ball sitting again. Now this time, 1 good carom, and the 1 ball is waiting there. Oh, and the 3 ball's going to block her this time. Oh dear. First it's the 5 ball, now it's the 3 ball. Would you credit it? No, I mean, you've got to protect the 1 ball if you're in LS3's position. Now, you've got to hit the 1 ball if you're in LS3's position. Now, this could go in off it. Superb shot. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. What an effort that was. And that is so unlucky. And what's more, I think she's teed it up here again. Yeah. Got to get it this time. Well, that's as close as she's going to come here tonight. And that is it. Well, all sorts of craziness happening. But after, well, what was it? An hour and 50 minutes? we have a 3-0 win for Coldest Pillow, and that's as close as LS3 got to actually stealing a rack. She had 3 goes, 2 goes that were blocked off. Goodness knows how many other goes where she lost the points. And Coldest Pillow goes through, but I don't honestly think that Cobra's going to be losing any sleep over the match that's to come. But Coldest Pillow's run of 89, as I said, if he's going to threaten Cobra, he's good chunks of 40s, 50s on visits when he gets chances, which he'll get the odd chance against Cobra, but if he doesn't score on them, then it could be 3-0. If he does score on them, it could be a different ball game. Well, that's it. Well done to Coldest Pillow. Very unlucky there to LS3, especially in that attempt at the outshot off the back of the one. It was so close. But it's one loss side now for LS3. So we've now got the hot seat match. Coldest Pillow against Cobra. They've got until August the 22nd. Now, that's a long way away, but they won't be playing until this side has resolved itself. We now know Interchange X plays LS3 on the one loss side in the top half of the draw, and then we know there's a wait on the bottom half until Mr. Fox and Jose get sorted out. I now see that Monster and Chiku have sorted themselves out, so that's now on the bracket. That might be a crazy time. Right, so that one is on Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Now, I am off that day, but I'd much rather Slim did it if he's around, and if he isn't around, I'll do it. But I would hope that Slim will be around to cover that, because that's starting late and it could go on for quite a while. Chiku against Monster on the one loss side. That's it, folks. I'm off to bed. I'm up at 4 o'clock again tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed it. And I don't know when I'll see you again. Certainly, hopefully not Tuesday. Hopefully that's Slim going to cover that. I will see you again. Take care and good night, folks.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.